So I'm currently in the process of adding new materials to my beginning woodworker course, and I thought I'd share with you this all new compact version of the California Casual patio table. Since this is the first project in my weekend woodworker course, it's designed to give you an overview of how to use a miter saw. It's the only tool that's going to be needed in this project, and I'm only going to be using 1.5 inch wide boards. These are 1x2s that I bought off the rack at Home Depot. And to keep it as simple as possible, I've tried to standardize a lot of the measurements. So all of the frame pieces and the legs are gonna be the same length. So I'm gonna make 2 of these. You might as well go ahead and make 2. It's pretty easy to make. You're gonna need to start out with 12 boards cut to equal length for each table. I'm gonna do 24 since I'm doing 2 tables. I can clamp a stop block onto this fence to make sure each of these pieces is exactly the same length. I want to cut some decorative bevels on the ends of each of the legs. So what I can do is just move my miter over to a 45-degree angle. Then I can just slide my stop block over 1/2 inch from where it was. In order to make these frames nice and square, I'm gonna set up this simple little setup jig using just a couple of 2x4s. What I wanna do is just screw these onto my workbench. I'm gonna use a framing square just to make sure that these are square to each other. There's a couple of different methods you can use to assemble this, depending on whether you want to just finish the project with a clear coat to show off the wood, or if you want to paint the project. I'm going to be painting this project, so I'm not too concerned about the screws showing up because I can cover those up. But all of these options are in the plans and in the original video to this project. So here's how this is going to play out. Here's 2 of the leg pieces, and I want to first start with this one by squaring it up in this corner. Then I'm going to take one of the cross pieces and screw it in to here. I'm going to use this other leg just to kind of support it for now. I'll also use a little bit of glue. I think 1 screw is going to be fine on these. Make sure you drill a pilot hole on these boards, because since these screws are so close to the ends of these boards, without a pilot hole they'll probably just split. Now I can take this around and do it this way. Just want to make sure that both of these sides are flush up against the 2x4s. Now I can attach this lower frame piece. This is going to be where the shelf sits on. And what I've done is I've cut out these 2 little spacer pieces here so I can put them here and then line it up this way so that they'll all be the same. And I'll make sure that I remove these before they get stuck in there. And there's the first leg assembly. I'm covering up these screw holes, even though the smarter way to have done this would have been to put the screws in from this side, which is what I do when I normally make this, but I have no idea, but some reason this time I got it in my head that the legs were on the outside of the table. They're not. It's these rails that are on the outside, so that's why I'm covering these up. It's just a minor thing. It's not that big of a deal to cover these up now. And when I add these cross pieces on here, those screws are definitely going to have to be covered up because you'll be able to see those. If you want to cover them up, you don't even have to cover them up. If you'd like to have visible screws, you just go right ahead and have visible screws. It's no big deal. We're all just here to enjoy making something, that's all. I want to sand all of these leg assemblies smooth now because once I assemble them all into the table, it's going to be really hard to get in there. Okay, I removed those 2x4s because I don't think I need them to assemble the rest of this. I think what I could do is kind of prop these two pieces up like this and then clamp them to my workbench. What I want to do though is put it close to the edge here so that I can get my drill in there. Since there's not a lot of clearance there, if I was over here, it wouldn't really fit because of the chuck would get in the way. What I want to do here is screw this into this board, the edge grain, rather than the end grain of this board. That'll just make it a little bit stronger. Also, I think I'll put in 2 screws on these top pieces. I think that putting 2 screws in those is gonna keep it from, you know, getting all wonky while I try to put this all together. So now it's just a matter of getting this last one in. Hopefully it'll be reasonably square. And if it's not the end of the world. It'll be close enough. Something being slightly out of square is like low on my list of things in the world that bother me. Oops, I already did that backwards. It goes this way. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. But can I live with that? Yeah. Especially if nobody's going to notice it. But I'm pretty confident this will be square enough. Hey, how about that? It sits without wobbling too. Okay, all I gotta do is put on these final 2 cross braces. These should be easy. I think what I'll do is just kind of prop that side up and then stick these on here like that. Yeah, it should be easy. Piece of cake. This probably isn't going to be exactly, yeah, see, this needs to be pulled in a little bit, but that's fine. I'll start with this side first. I think on this lower rail, I only need 1 screw. There's really no way I can clamp this down from up here. So I'm just gonna hold it for a few seconds until it kind of grabs. Yeah, with that 1 screw there, now I can adjust this side if I need to, which I'm sure I'm going to need to. Yeah, so if it isn't all perfectly square, just kind of force it to submit. Yeah, something like that. Okay, not bad. There's no wobble into it. That's kind of surprising. And you know, if it's still a little wobbly, just blame it on the floor. I've cut out 8 of these support pieces, all the same length, 4 for each table, and they're gonna go on the underside of this lower shelf to support those slats. There's really no way that I can screw this into place without putting screws through the outside here, which I don't really want to do. So just glue, I'll just clamp it down and just be patient, let the glue dry. I'm just testing it with this little board on the other side to make sure that it's reasonably flush. Because what's flush on that side isn't necessarily flush on this side. In other words, these are gonna go in here like this, and I want that to be flush across that way. And I can glue all of these slats into place for the lower shelf. These two end pieces are a little bit shorter. They'll just drop in there. So what I want to try to do here is work, fairly fast before the glue dries, is to get these into place, the best side up, and just try to space them apart equally. I'm just, it's about 1/8 of an inch, but, I'm not going to measure it. There, that's not too bad. These don't really need to be clamped down. I think I'll just find some weight to put on them. That'll hold them into place. Don't worry too much about getting that spacing exact. Nobody will notice unless they come over to your house with a tape measure. Do you really want friends like that? I'm adding a 45-degree decorative bevel on the ends of each of the top slats. And once again, I set my miter saw to a 45-degree angle, and I've set up a stop block. I'll cut one bevel, then flip the board around to cut the matching bevel on the other side. So all of those slats are just going to get glued onto the tops like this. But before I do that, I want to paint these bases. I'm going to be painting these both 2 different colors, and I just think it's going to be a lot easier to do it that way rather than just try to mask all of the top parts off. Especially on one of these, it's going to have multiple colors. I've sanded off any excess paint that was on this top part here, so now I'm just going to glue these into place. I think my strategy here is to start with the 2 pieces on the ends, get those lined up, and then I can work my way to the center. I'm just kind of doing this by feel, so that it feels about equal, and then I can kind of get it perpendicular, or is it parallel, by looking at it this way. Basically, I just want them to have that overhang equal on all sides. I need to try to do these all at once so that I can reposition them as I go. The longer I keep fussing with this, the more it kind of just drives me crazy. So I think I just got to pick a point where I think, yeah, it's good enough. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just try to clamp these down using these clamping boards that I keep around. This is just a piece of packing tape on there so that glue doesn't stick to it, and hopefully if this paint is maybe a little bit tacky, it won't stick to it either. So I think what I can do is put it here and here and clamp that in place. But I'm gonna let this dry for a few minutes before I clamp that, because I'm afraid once I start clamping that down that they might slide a bit. I don't want that. So here's the thing about clamping, in case you were wondering. Glue will hold pretty good on its own without clamping. In fact, for a lot of decorative objects, you don't necessarily need to clamp them, but it will be stronger by clamping it because it forces the glue down into the fibers of the wood and makes for a better bond. But not everything needs clamping. What is likely to happen if I don't clamp this is that if it gets picked up and moved around a lot, it's possible that one of these slats might pop off. I don't know. It's possible. Okay, here we go. Look at that. I feel like the colors here are kind of an homage to Swedish furniture. Just not that Swedish furniture company. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed this project. I've got full, complete sets of plans for this table as well as the larger version. Those are included in a Weekend Woodworker membership. Plus, you'll get full detailed videos showing every step of the process, how to safely use a miter saw, how to make jigs to help your workflow, what kind of screws to use, how to set up an extension fence, all these kinds of things. These are videos made for actually learning rather than just trying to appeal to the YouTube algorithm. Anyways, if you've been thinking about learning woodworking, there is no better system than the Weekend Woodworker. It's a step-by-step approach to learning the basics of woodworking. Absolutely no experience necessary. Thousands of people have learned woodworking from this course. Check it out over at theweekendwoodworker.com. Thanks for watching, everybody.